Welcome Raider Nation and my champions. We are at halftime down 14-12 in a wild and weird game. I welcome you all out here. I see a few of you already in the chat. Dominique 5, how are you doing? Sandy B. Of course, yeah, I hit the post. Kind of crazy, but obviously it's Raider season, so of course you need a drink with this nonsense. Hey, Wesley John, thanks for coming on in. We're going to talk about all this stuff. Hey, Earth Daughter, how you doing? Yeah, Earth Daughter, it seems like a lot of people aren't getting my notifications for some reason. I think it'd probably be best if you maybe unsub and then resub and then hit the all on your bell notification. YouTube's been kind of screwy lately. I don't know what's going on really. Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about all this, but first I want to get into the what I think is going on here as far as the game goes, and really kind of break this down what I think it is, and we'll talk about what you want to talk about here in the stream. We'll kind of bounce back and forth in the Q&A section. If you're new here, I go over what I call the rundown here. So I have various topics. In this case, it's a halftime report. So we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly from the first half. I'm going to bounce off what I gave out as keys to the game in my game preview. We'll do a quick check of the scores for the rest of the league, and then we'll go to your questions. So let's get to this right now. As far as good, Max Crosby's still getting the rush, the pass rush going. He is getting held a little bit. I saw a play where Cleveland Farrell got held twice on the same play. Absolutely ridiculous. I saw Carl Nassib get that sack in there, and Solomon Thomas getting the pressure up the middle. I will say this though, they are kind of stifling. Well, I'll get to that as part of the keys to the game with the interior rush and what I think is going there. And then they were calling him second in Renfro. Usually his nickname's third in Renfro, but he was doing pretty well in this game. Kind of bailed out Carr on that one big play. He has 3 catches for 55 yards as of right now. And honestly, I don't know where we would be without the guy. As far as the bad, we gotta start with the offensive line. I'm tired of Andre James. I'm tired of this experiment. We can't even get a guy who can hike the fucking ball at this point. This is a joke. Put in Nick Martin. He's a veteran. At this point, I just want somebody who can hike the ball. I'm not so afraid of Miami's pass rush, however they are, but they have been blitzing a lot. And I'll kind of get into that once I get to the keys of the game. And then we're seeing this, the offense sputtering again. This looked very similar to the Baltimore Ravens game where things just weren't working right. Carr was off target on his throws. The offensive line was bad. And I got to say here, I put this as still blind. John Gruden looks like he got some new glasses here, but especially in the first quarter, it looked like the play calling was very vanilla, very predictable, run on early downs, do the short passing, and I think Miami was sniffing it out. As far as the bad, obviously, if you've been watching the game, you know what the bad is, or the ugly is here, and that's Foster Moreau. He basically cost us 6 points here. And I know some of the Carr haters are going to blame the pick 6 on him, but I took a freeze frame of this, and here's Foster. Here's the ball. So the ball's already out. He's getting hit. He stops his route completely. This linebacker gets like a free Christmas present right here. Boom. Nobody's here. Yeah, that's an easy 6. Not only that, he did a terrible job on that 4th down blocking. He just basically got owned by a linebacker. Just terrible, Yeah, he needs to wake up. They all really needed to wake up. So as far as the keys to the game go, I did put that as could this be a trap game? It really started looking like that, especially in the first quarter. The second quarter has been a little bit better, I'll have to admit. But to me, it all goes back to coaching again. Are we going to get a team that comes out here for a full 60 minutes and plays? It's like I said, this reminds me, and I did the Grading Gruden series where the team seems like an old car, like an old Cadillac or old Oldsmobile, where you got to let it, turn it on, let it warm up for 10, 15 minutes, then you're good to go. It shouldn't be that way. This falls squarely on John Gruden. As far as the defensive matchups, this interior key, It's starting to happen now, but I think Miami's done a great job with their running game to kind of offset that. And Miles Gaskin's been okay. Hasn't really hurt us. I hope not yet, but he has that threat. Malcolm Brown, that was a terrible coverage by. It wasn't Littleton this time. I'm really surprised. I mean, this was KJ Wright, Perryman, yeah, but mostly on KJ Wright there. Just took a bad angle and then just got swallowed up in the mess and just gave Malcolm Brown an easy one. And then Malcolm Brown, he did his little jump flip, kind of like Zay Jones did at the end of that one game at the Baltimore game. So that was kind of a big FU. And then also the little downing of the punt where the guy goes and tries to pull him into the end zone. I think maybe that kind of stirred a fire with the Raiders, maybe kind of woke them up. I don't know. But as far as the offense, they were kind of shutting down Waller and Ruggs. Renfro, like I said, he had 3 catches for 55 yards. Edwards was involved. He only had 1 catch. He had 23 yards, but he really reminds me of Keenan Allen out there. Kind of get out there, get that X receiver, that possession receiver. He can take a hit, keep on going. He's a bigger type of guy, but I will have to give credit to Gruden in this offense, especially in the second quarter. It seemed though, they were doing like crossing routes with Ruggs. Same with Waller, motion plays. They're getting these guys open now, and Ruggs and Waller are starting to heat up. So, like I said, it looked like they were doing that high free safety here, and they even talked about it in the announce booth. But that's what I figured they would do to try to prevent the big play here. So, as far as the keys, I think Renfro's doing pretty good. The offensive line is atrocious. I would say aside from Colton Miller, everybody else has been kind of iffy. Leatherwood, he's gonna take his knocks as a rookie, but this interior line is just awful. I don't know what else to say. John Simpson missed a blocking assignment, gave up an easy sack. Andre James, absolute garbage. I'm sick and tired of hearing about him. I mean, the man can't even hike the freaking ball, for crying out loud. Cost us 18 yards. It's just, I've had enough. Put in the vet. Stop playing around, Gruden. Okay. As far as let's go over week 3. We'll just go over the scores really quickly and see where we're at. Broncos 17-0. Looked like Melvin Gordon got a touchdown. This is no surprise, to be honest with you. Jets aren't that good. Plus, they're playing up in altitude. We already talked about that. 14-7. I would expect a little bit more points here. 2 high-powered offenses. Seahawks, Vikings. This is kind of what I expected. I expected a close game. I think the Seahawks are a little bit better, but Vikings are up against the wall here at 0-2. They're at home. Bills rolled pretty much. 4 touchdowns for Josh Allen. The Browns and Bears. Oh my gosh. This is, when's Matt Nagy going to get fired, by the way? I actually watched the first half of this game, and it was just absolutely ridiculous. They have Justin Fields, a rookie, a running type quarterback like Lamar Jackson. What does he do? 7-step drops. Also, by the way, I think they have the worst offensive line in football. I think the Browns got, I don't know how many sacks. I think it was like 6 when I turned it off. So maybe they got 10. I don't really know. But why not shotgun? Why not 3-step drops? Why not RPO with this guy? Play to your strengths. Matt Nagy sucks. He's a terrible coach. Even worse than Gruden. He's miles worse than Gruden. So, I think he's on his way out. Ravens, Lions. I don't know what's going on with Baltimore here. I know they've had injuries, but this shouldn't have been that close. And Tucker hit the 66-yard field goal. He, a new NFL record. I want to go and see a replay of that. I didn't get to see it. Titans. That was kind of expected. Carson Wentz sucks. Just like I said, he didn't break out. So Stacey Dowles or the Dales or whatever. Wrong again. Good job, NFL Network. Look at this. Chargers were up big. Chiefs came back. And Patrick Mahomes just threw a duck up. I saw that. late in the game for an interception. They came back, got a touchdown, missed the extra point, but the Chiefs couldn't. I think they basically ran out of time. Saints, Patriots. Saints are kind of hot and cold, so I guess they were hot this week. Two garbage teams. Unbelievable. Steelers, Big Ben needs to retire. He's trash. I saw a little bit of that game. He's awful. He's no good. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. I think they're for real, by the way. And then the Cardinals, Jaguars. Jags were up early. They got the Cards tried a long field goal and missed it, and the guy ran it back like 109 yards for a touchdown. I think at the end of the half. So they were up by like a touchdown, but Cards just have too much firepower. And of course the Thursday game, Panthers, Texans. Panthers are a scrappy little team. I don't know if they're 3-0 worthy, but they're still pretty decent. They might end up with a wild card here. So as we get into the second half, I'll have my full review of the entire game probably tomorrow about 4 or 5 o'clock. So keep your notifications on for that. And let's get on to the question and answer. I'm gonna look through the chat right now and see what you guys have put down. Since I've been yakking here, I want to hear what you have to say, Bench Andre. James, Bench Barber. Let's see, Regis. Okay. Yeah, Barber had that fumble, but that was a great play. I would say more so on Miami. The guy put his helmet right there. I think that was probably unavoidable for the most part. Let's see. Scroll down. O-line really struggling. Yes. I think I'll make a drink too. Yeah, I have mine right here. So, salud, especially if you're a Raider fan. I mean, it's kind of getting obligatory at this point as far as needing a drink. Especially the Raiders, I'd say summary, they're playing like they played before. Like, they played at that level of competition. I thought this was going to be different. This is like Charlie Brown. Let me take a drink first. This is like Charlie Brown with Lucy and the football. You know, this time I'll hold it for you. Come and kick it. Come and kick it, Raider Nation. We're not going to slack. We're not going to slack. We're really going to be good this time. Woo! That's how I feel about this. This is on Gruden, especially the offense not being ready. I think the defense has been pretty good. They had that one rushing touchdown looked terrible. But overall, it's been pretty good. Of course, they got that safety, Casey Hayward. Awesome. Great pickup. Wow. What an awesome pickup there. Jeez. But overall, it's got to be on John Gruden. He's running this offense. They should be humming by now. They were heating up last week. And then they came out and they look like they did the first half against Baltimore, where they didn't have a snap in preseason. Things were out of sync. Derek Carr was throwing it over the heads of people. So how disgustingly bad is our O-line? Everybody except Colton Miller. And I'll give somewhat of a pass to Leatherwood because he's a rookie. He's doing okay, but he's a rookie. Colton Miller didn't do that well as a rookie either. But Colton's solid. Everybody else is in question. Obviously, we had the two injuries at guard. Andre James, Nick Martin needs to be out there. I'm done looking at this, honestly. So the game is back on. I'm going to go through some more questions. If you want to ask anything else, we'll stay on a little bit longer. And then I'll cut this off and we can watch the second half. Ruggs looking good. That INT was not on Carr. Absolutely not. It was not on INT. It was not on Carr. See Jacoby break Abrams' ankles. Jacoby can run. I will say that, but I'm not sure. I think something happened to my feed. Uh-oh. Gonna go catch the game. See you next halftime. Okay, guys, I'm gonna cut this off. I think something's happening either with my feed or my OBS, my software program. So I'm going to cut this off. And thank you guys for coming out here. Let's watch the second half. And hopefully the Raiders get it together and get this W that they should get.